Now to Western Australia, the far south coast actually, and a whale of a tale. Humpback whales never fail to turn on a spectacular performance, whether it be breaching or simply basking with their newborn calf. Every year, some 20,000 humpbacks migrate from the Antarctic up along the Western Australian coastline, although vigorous commercial hunting had killed off 19 out of every 20 whales by 1963. The last whaling station to operate in Australia was at Shane's Beach, near the far southern Western Australian city of Albany. Today, the whaling station has been converted into a museum known as Whale World, with all the tanks used to store the whale oil still standing. They've also displayed the skeletons of 2 blue whales killed here, with manager Les Ball assigned the difficult task of attracting tourists to what was once a slaughterhouse.
Well, Les, you love whales?
Yes, it's been a fairly big part of my life, or later years anyway.
Because you've run ships taking thousands of people out watching whales out of here in Albany.
Yes, I did that for 9 seasons. One of the most enjoyable experiences of my life, I think. Memorable.
So how's it feel, a whale lover, looking after a station that used to decimate them, slaughter them?
It's a mixed feeling, because this was a job. I mean, in the days when they were killing whales, it wasn't a necessity, but it was a product, it was another job. We needed the product. Eventually, of course, that became redundant, and that's just part of life, I suppose.
Les, 26,000 whales were slaughtered here. You must feel pretty sad about that.
Yes and no. What we try to do here is present the history. And to do that, you've got to stay a bit of neutral ground and let people come here and make up their own mind.
One of the ships used to chase and harpoon the whales has been beached in the middle of the old whaling station. It's the Chains 4, remembered well by former whaling station supervisor Andy Wu.
Yeah. So Andy, tell me this. You're out at sea, the spotter plane's been high above and it's spotted the whale, it's called the pilot in, called the captain in to where the whale is, and the harpooner would stand here. Now, you haven't harpooned a whale yourself, have you?
Yeah, no, I've never, no.
But you've certainly been on board when they have been harpooned.
When they have been.
How close would that whale be?
Oh, they could be 30 metres off, 30, 40 metres sometimes.
And this was powerful enough to cover that distance?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
And what happened then? What would happen on board the ship then?
Well, they just let the ship go, let them tow it, let the whale tow it till he came up again.
And would the ship be rocking around?
Be rocking around, yeah.
Andy, you're telling me one harpoonist up here got the rope caught around his leg?
He got the loop caught around his leg and he fired the harpoon and his leg went with it. And the harpoon as well.
And he had to be picked up by a seaplane, taken to hospital.
Taken off.
But he came back out again?
He came back whaling, yeah.
What a story.
A tough guy.
Yeah.
Much of the equipment, like the giant saws used to cut up the whales, is still on display.
This is the flensing deck?
Yeah.
This is the flensing knife?
That's the flensing knife.
How did it work?
Well, they used to run from the tail end of the whale. They used to run up on the top of it and cut the blubber. Then they came back again and started from the front and cut it underneath. Then they put a strap on the front part of it, and the winch used to pull the blubber, and they kept cutting away the blubber off the meat, and the winch used to practically pull the blubber off.
And how many whales did you see them get through in one day here?
Well, I've seen as many as eight or nine.
8 or 9 humpbacks in one day. So Andy, once the whales, the humpbacks and the sperm whales have been cut up into smaller pieces, they'd be put down this hole, cooker right down here.
Yeah. They closed the doors off and it was all done below, and the cooker was done down below.
The giant boilers used to heat up the whale flesh and extract oil produce some 30 barrels from an average humpback.
So Andy, what happened here?
Here was actually the cooking part of the whale. After the whale was flensed and cut up on the top deck, they dump it straight in the cookers and we cooked it for about 4 hours and then take the oil off it.
What have we got at the end of one whale?
One whale, you've got about 4.5 tonne of oil, 5 tonne sometimes, all depends on the size they were. The humpback oil was used in margarine and the sperm oil was used for machine oil, especially for automatic gearboxes.
It's 30 years now since Australia's last whaling station here in Albany closed, with humpback numbers growing strongly ever since. When next we travel Oz, Kokoda, the New Guinea trail that's played such an important role in Australia's wartime history. The two Tims head out along the Kokoda Trail. Also, the indigenous wildlife wonderman of Esperance, roos and emus, all part of his world. And back to the wilderness of Montague Island, special encounters with penguins and seals.
And that is this episode of Travel Oz. I'm Greg Grainger. Happy travels.
Travel Oz. Yeah, right.